Okay. Hi, Bear Gang, and I'm here with my new guest, Macy Yang.
Hi.
We have been friends for, I think, almost a good year now.
Mm-hmm.
And today, me and her are going to talk about the rise in Asian hate, which, it, if you're one of these people who are discriminating against Asians, sit in a corner and think about your life. Just please.
Yes. Reflect on your life, please.
So, before we get into the deepness, Macy, say a little about yourself.
Hi. Well, thank you first, Alberto, for having me on your podcast. I'm Macy, and I'm a freelance portrait photographer. And I also have my own podcast as well called Sharing and Evolution. So, yeah, check that out.
Her photos are beautiful.
Thank you.
So, our first question, before we get into a story that I'm sure everyone by now has heard. Sorry. Um, have you ever had a racist encounter?
Um, I don't think mine have been like violent encounters, but I think they've been pretty like passive aggressive. Like the only one I can remember is that I think I was in high school and my family would do farmers market. So I introduce a little context. I am Hmong, so it's more of like an ethnic group. We don't have a country, but originally from China, but we're mainly known, or my parents were born in Laos, so and we came here because of the Vietnam War, so we're refugees. Um, and I'm from Wisconsin, so Wisconsin is majority of white people. We have like some bigger cities like Milwaukee, which is more like black population. But I mean, just recently we became a democratic like state, so like they. But yeah, there's a lot of still some white folks, some Republican white folks, but not to get too political, but just a little context about where I was raised. I'm from a small city, but um, my family we do farmers market, and my mom she has very limited like English, and so I'm always there to help and translate when needed. And I remember I was like uh, handling a customer, and he was this like white man, and he was a firefighter too, and he's all like, "Oh, at least you know English." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm just like, at that point, I was just like, "Yeah," because like I never like. I guess I would say I'm actually really privileged enough not to like have so many racist counters, but like, and I don't think that we're taught to know how to handle these things. And as an Asian person, we're normally kind of like just passive and just like accept it, not be so confrontational. Which is like, I think now we're being taught to uh, be more vocal about. So back then, like I didn't know how to react to that, so I just kind of laughed it off, which is like
Mm-hmm.
my usual coping mechanism, I guess. So yeah, that was like one small thing that I dealt with.
I I've had a few that weren't major ones, but I the latest one, which isn't that recent now, but I was on the city bus, and the bus driver who doesn't drive anymore, and you'll find out why. She was talking with another passenger, and my city is called Little Mexico because there are a
Oh,
lot of Hispanics, and most of them are like ones that you can tell they came here for a better life, and just like with your mom, they have their kids help translate stuff.
Yeah.
But just like with any other race, wherever you go, they know enough that they know when someone's talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
And since I was on the bus, I just had my headphones on, just listening to music. But I could still hear this woman was talking about the passengers because she thought they couldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just looked at my grandmother like, hold me back.
Oh my
Hold me
God.
back. And I said some words in Spanish, Korean,
Knowing you.
and once I got off, I distinctly remember saying under my breath, but loud enough that they could hear, just pinche gorda perra, which basically means effing fat bitch, because it's like if you're not showing any respect to
Yeah.
me or my people, I don't have to respect you.
Mm-hmm. What did she say specifically?
Just like, I don't know, because like I had my headphones on, but basically saying like, oh, we're just um basically thinking of it as a hierarchy.
Mm. And she was a white woman, or what was she?
White.
Okay.
But it's like, you, like, I'll bet you any money she goes to like Chipotle, Taco Bell. Like, she enjoys our food and our culture,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't thoroughly enjoy it if you don't know the roots, like
Yeah.
where everywhere it came from.
Yeah. Not to throw people under the bus, but it's like, workplaces that celebrate Cinco de Mayo but only eat tacos for that holiday, kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
Like I was in school and one of my friends was like, "Oh, what are you doing for Cinco de Mayo?" And this was after I learned some more about my heritage. I was like, "Oh, we don't really. Well, one, we don't celebrate it because I live in a mostly white household. The only Hispanic part is me."
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, "I don't really celebrate it." And he said, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, like what would you usually eat?" And I was like, "McDonald's." Like, there's nothing you eat on Cinco de Mayo because it's not an actual thing.
Yeah. What does your grandma, if you don't mind me asking, identify ethnically as?
She's white.
Oh, okay. So does she like because you identify with your Hispanic side,
Yeah.
and so does she like understand or empathize like the things that you go, like, the racial stuff that you experience?
Oh, oh yeah. Because
Mm-hmm.
my mom, since she's into Latinos, she got to experience like the Hispanic culture.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God for that.
Wait, so your dad is the Spanish side, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's what I
From Tijuana. No, no, God no, no.
thought.
Where is he from? Where is he from? I'll edit where he's from on the screen.
Okay.
It would make sense if he was from there, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, I mean, that's good that you have support
yeah,
from your grandmas and your mom's side. Yeah.
yeah. And if you guys ever go to Mexico, aside from all the bad stuff, it is beautiful there.
Mm-hmm.
The beaches, beautiful.
They have really nice Airbnbs.
Yeah, I talk like I have been there. I have not.
Virtually been there.
Yep. And the second question is how to deal with being discriminated against.
Ah, dang. I think now that I'm a lot older and that we don't take any more shit anymore. Like we just gonna go, don't give a crap anymore, and more like confident in who we are. I think the best way is just to educate. Well, because there's many routes people take. For me, I'm the type to educate my haters. Like I kill them with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
So I educate them because in actuality they're just like ignorant of who you are and where you come from. So I just like tell them like who I am or like why they're wrong, in a very like calm manner and stuff. And if they take it, they'll take it. And if they don't, oh well, like at least I tried. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The way I see it, I agree with what you say, but I think for going forward,
Mm-hmm.
the people who aren't discriminating other races and cultures, they need to teach their kids,
Mm-hmm.
and if need be, expose them to like the Hmong culture, the South African culture, expose them
Mm-hmm.
to other cultures,
Mm-hmm.
especially expose them to the past. Like, if you're having kids in 2050, expose them to 2021 so they can see the Asian hate.
Yeah, definitely. Any more like media exposure and just providing them with resources.
Because if you're not exposing your children to other cultures in 2021, when all you have to do is just type some stuff, what are you
Yeah.
doing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, because like I don't know if it was our group, but I came upon like this post, about the Asian hate thing,
Hmm.
and how there were some Black folks who were like, why should we help them? They're never there for us, and through BLM, and I'm just like, no, like we are behind you guys. It's just not being exposed. Like you see so many people behind BLM, so it's just like it's sad that they don't see us Asians like supporting. But then it's not really on them. It's like, there's being ignorant and they don't see it. So yeah.
And I feel like I have to put this out there, or else I can hear the hate comments are flowing. That is not to discredit BLM.
Mm-hmm.
That both the Asian hate and the African American hate, both
Yeah.
equally as important.
Mm-hmm.
One thing. Okay, here's one that is, I think, one that everybody should see. What are the early signs of being racist? Like, how can you like notice them either in yourself, your friends, or your significant others?
Yeah. Strange thing, or not strange, but funny thing is that I always felt, I think when I first really, my first earliest memories of celebrating like July 4th with like the public, I was like in 8th grade or 7th grade, and this is my first time, like in my city, we go on a bridge, and that's where like all these festivities are. And I remember like going to that public area and white people just staring at me. And so that's when like you're
Oh
seen as
yeah.
the other. And I
Oh
always feel
yeah.
like from that day on, or from that holiday, I just like felt so uncomfortable celebrating Independence Day because I'm looked as like the other. So definitely when you walk into a room or a place and people are staring at you, like that's like number one indicator. So
I that's when I feel like I'm blessed with being, as I call it, a light skinned Mexican because
right.
I've been mistaken as Italian, Polish, European, and I'm like, well, I take those as compliments. I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
But if you look at my youngest sister, you would think she was born in Mexico.
Oh wow.
Like she is dark.
Oh wow. Crazy. Other signs, I mean, within families, it's definitely uh, like the way they talk, like it's because this just came up last night. I remember this morning, through the whole drama using the N word with the ER. I'm just like, no, don't
Oh,
use that. Do not use that. And that's just like, that like makes me cringe. I'm just like, please don't use that around me or anymore.
the funny thing about that, I was dating a girl in Ohio, and everything was good until she said, "Hey, so heads up," because she knew of my background. She was like, "Heads up, my dad's a bit racist," and I was like, "Racist how?"
Yeah.
And I heard him use the hardest of ours, and
Oh no.
I was like, "Don't call me again." But it was hard because we lived in the same apartment complex.
Oh wow.
So I was like, good thing I look white.
Wait, I don't know if I mean, the second question, how do you deal with like racism then?
Um,
Did you answer that one yourself?
I mean, just teach the next generation.
Mm-hmm. When it happens to you or when you're around it, do you kind of speak out like on it, or you just kind of like quiet about it?
I wanted to speak about the one on the bus,
Mm,
but I thought, okay, this time I'll just observe, and if it happens again, I'll try not to lose my shit
mm-hmm,
and tell the person like, hey, just because you're saying this because you don't think we understand, there are going to be times when they bring their kids on, and they're going to understand immediately,
mm-hmm.
or you're going to get a Latino or God forbid a Latina. Y'all know why the Latina fire because she could have gotten a passenger who won't be as calm,
Mm-hmm.
and it would end up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just just be more professional.
Right. Like, don't lose your temper or don't get emotional about it because that's just gonna be bad
It's
confrontation, really.
it's funny when you said that they saw you as the other because that's what the bus driver called all of the passengers on the bus. It's like, oh, watch out for the others, and it's like we're not a Pokemon.
Wow.
We are not a kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
So the um off of the questions and onto the um I guess story thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to butcher this.
Is it the most recent one?
No, it's the elderly guy from Thailand.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't want to butcher his name because
The one from San Francisco, correct?
yes, yes. I feel like there is so well one so many words to describe this. 99% of them are not nice words,
Yeah.
but mostly he. I'm sure that street was not like it was just him and the aggressor, and that was it. There was multiple people there,
Mm-hmm.
which means if nobody helped him, everyone there needs to sit in a corner and think about their life.
Right. He's haunting them. And also like thank goodness that there's that camera right there
Oh
that
yeah,
saw everything. I'm just like, damn. Yeah. It's really unfortunate. It breaks my heart. Like just an old Asian man doing nothing, and that just had to happen. It's just like for what? For what? So
and it's like there was nothing. One, there's nothing to be scared of because it's an elderly
mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah.
The least he's going to say, like the most he's going to say is "excuse me" or "hi."
Yeah.
And plus, you don't have to worry about the virus because it's not like the zombie virus where it's that aggressive. Knock
Right.
on wood. Knock on
Well,
wood.
I don't know. I also came upon like articles like saying like, that neighborhood in San Fran has a lot of racial tension to begin with. I've had a friend who lived there for years and she talked about, the racial tension, too, that when she lived there. So I mean, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like healing that needs to be talked and discussed in that neighborhood. I mean, we're not from there, so I can't say much, but it's really unfortunate.
One other one that I saw is forget his name, but this I think he's Korean. This Korean guy was killed when he was just walking.
Mm-hmm. With the most recent was the Paco one.
Yes, him.
Okay. Do you know what city that was from?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Except for
No.
except for doing these types of things, guys, always write stuff down.
Yeah. I know that a lot of like in Wisconsin, because we have a lot of like the more population in Wausau, there was a lot more cases there, a lot more like Asian harassments, and oh, it was just so sad. And it was like happening at the beginning of COVID and everything.
I remember during the peak of COVID
Mhm.
in 2020. I went to the store to buy some food and I found a Asian chopped salad. The best salad I've had in a while. The amount of looks I got. It's like
What?
it's like one, it says right on the package on the back, made
Oh,
in America. If the word
oh
Asian,
yeah.
if the one word Asian makes you that scared, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, plain ignorance, I swear.
But
But I love like yeah, because like a lot like in the beginning of COVID, like a lot of like Chinese Asian restaurants were like where it got hit hard because the lack of support and just plain ignorance. But I remember I was so proud of my workplace because this is right before I started working from home. We like my whole team like ordered Chinese food. I'm just like, I mean, it wasn't for the sake of like supporting. It was just like, yeah, we're hungry. Let's go to this Chinese order from the Chinese restaurant. So like it was great that my team like help like the restaurant and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I,
yeah.
I saw a tweet that made me laugh.
Hmm.
It was basically saying to not eat at Panda Express because they were worried about catching the virus from the food. And I said, the worst thing you're going to get attacked from is the MSG. That is the worst thing.
Disclaimer: there's no MSG.
Yeah.
Alberto's spreading lies.
It's either that or the calories.
Oh, for sure. All that sodium, all that
Yeah.
grease.
I mean, I love Panda Express. I know that's considered fighting words to some people. But if I go there, I'm not worried about getting COVID. I'm worried about
No.
eating and being in a food coma for 5
Yeah.
hours.
That food coma. It's hard, dude.
Well, this is a pretty short podcast, but I feel like the topic is one that should be talked about more.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming up and like deciding to talk about this. Yeah, I hope people are more exposed and like support and watch out for everyone. So yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you're like me who consumes a lot of the Asian, either the Asian media or culture. Hell, even if you just like the music, it takes,
Eat the food.
yeah, it takes 5 seconds to just repost something on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook.
Right.
You don't have to donate, although that does help.
Yeah. There's a lot of new, there's hashtags, there's a lot of Instagram accounts like that are speaking out against Asian hate and violence. So definitely check out those too.
And speaking of speaking out, Instagram, stop deleting my stories about Asian hate.
You're right.
You can silence
I'm doing nothing wrong.
you can silence me, but you can't silence the hate. God damn it!
All right. Well, thank you so much, Albert, for having me.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Everybody, go check out her podcast. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah, bye.